Well, today we're going to explore Uniquely Creative. That is an Australian company. Their Peonies and Proteas collection. So we have some beautiful projects. In fact, look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Yes. So won't you please come play with us? Well, before we get into Kathy's projects, let me tell you about this collection. There are 6x6 papers. There are 32 sheets. They are single-sided and lots of variety there. One of the things I'm most excited about is this. They are die cuts, but they are on vellum, and so many things that you can do with those, and I'll share that with you. And then, isn't this stunning? Just beautiful. And if you want this shorter, you can certainly cut it apart, but as you saw in the opening, there is a beautiful way to use these, so we'll just get into them. And as I said, Kathy Thompson has done these projects, and Kathy is a new designer for us, and this is her first project, and it uses several of the items. Now, she has taken the see, don't look at that, the 5x6.5 inch card, and she has measured 2.5 inches across and scored it. And Kathy, like our designers, really likes using the scoreboard. Just finds that it's going to give you that measurement quickly and easily. Just score it right there. Now, as you saw by my little note, you're going to measure 2 3/4 inches up, and then draw a line from that point up to the score line, and then cut along that line. And that's just going to give you an interesting front. And you can see how Kathy has used that. So I'm going to take this piece off since I don't need that any longer. And what Kathy has done is that she's used 2 different papers, and I thought that was an interesting way to go. So let me just tell you about it. So for the stripe, she has cut this 2 inches wide, of course, by 6 inches long. And then she matted it on the rich gold Mary cardstock, and that's going to give you that beautiful shine. So she did it there. And then she cut the gingham. So this is a gray gingham, and she cut that into 2 inches by 5.5 inches, but then she made a mark at 2 3/4 inches, and then drew a line from there to the point, and then cut that, and then matted it on the gold Mary. Now, if all of those directions are tricky to get verbally, they are written down below. So we have the written instructions for you too, because I know getting all of that in one fell swoop is just a lot to process. So take care of that for you. And so you can see how beautiful that is. Now, this piece is the vellum, but because the vellum is going to get kind of translucent, as a matter of fact, you can see it right here. And you can see how beautifully it just works onto the papers, especially like colored papers, kind of like a rub-on. So what she did is she put it on the back of one of the papers, because all the papers are white on the back. So she simply glued that onto the back, trimmed it out, and then glued it onto the front. So she had a stronger background. So that's another way that you can use it. So that's interesting. And you can see it kind of pokes out from the edges of the matting, and that worked out nicely. Now, she did want to add a little bit of extra shine, so she went with our, this is the Silver Pearl Butterfly Dazzles. They have a gold edging, and you can see she put one here, one down here, and then just one right there. So that just kind of goes just like that. So that's nice. Now, on the inside of her card, she duplicated the piece right here, same measurement, 2x6, and matted it onto the gold Mary. Now, the Hello Beautiful, well, that comes on a sheet that's got some cutouts. So she simply cut that out, matted onto the gold Mary, and glued it in the middle. More of the butterflies are fluttering around that piece. Now, she did something different here, and let me share that with you. this is what that sheet looks like. So you've got some of the flowers kind of along the edges, and she did trim it to go on the inside of her card and matted it. But then this is where the vellum takes place, and let me just show you how that works, because I was really happy to use it. So here is the vellum die cut, and you just, I just use my fingernail. Now my fingernails are not very long at this moment, and let me see if I can do this on camera. Okay, so you just kind of push it in, and are we close? Okay, it usually takes a second or two, and all you want to do is separate those layers. You want to get the backing off, so that's what I've done. Let's see, Jeanette, you want to get in closer? I'll make sure I'm in the center there. Okay, so I'm just pulling that off. Here we go. Now it's got a plastic liner, so I'm going to get rid of that. And then I have my piece. And then I'm going to position it just like Kathy did, right in the center here. And I'm just going to lay it down. Now, if you put it, maybe you got it crooked, you can remove it. You can lift it back up. How do I know that? Because I did that. So you can lift it gently. And if you need to replace it, you can do that. So you're not married to your first try. You want to be careful with it because it will tear, but that will just do nicely. So you can overlap the images, and that's what Kathy has done here. So you can see that she trimmed it down, matted it on the gold, placed the vellum, and then she's got more butterflies. And I like how she did all the butterflies in using all three sizes and letting them curve on all of her pieces. And I thought that was really nice. So that's her first card. Good job, lady. Okay, now we're going to go to the second one. And that is this gorgeous one I showed you. Now let me just bring in the cutting die so you can kind of see. I guess I'll need to take it out of the package. Here we go. And just to show you how long it is and what space she used. So here we go. Okay. Oh goodness. Okay, now, so here is the length of the cutting die. Now this card, as you know, is 5 by 6.5. Now this looked just gigantic, didn't it? But if you put it at an angle, it's going to work beautifully. And isn't that gorgeous? Now, you can also trim off the ends if you just want it to go straight. You can do lots of different things. So lots of options for you. Now what Kathy did is she used one of the pieces in the paper pack, and it's the wood one. And she matted it again on the rich gold Mary, so that worked nicely. And then let's get in really close, Jeanette, because I want you to see that she die cut it out of black as well as silver and gold Mary. So there's 3 layers there. Now they are glued together, so that's going to work nicely. Boy, this would be a place to use the sticky specs, wouldn't it? So I don't know that Kathy knows about sticky specs, so I'm going to have to tell her about them. But the black went down first, and then the silver, and then the gold. They're slightly offset, and by having the black at the bottom, that's going to give you a shadow, and just really nice. So just let me show you the silver and the gold so you can see they're both super, super reflective, which is really nice. Then the friend down here is out of the We're Together dazzles, and that's beautiful. Then these little flowers, that is also out of the same dazzle pack. There's little hearts and flowers and stars, so you get those, no extra charge. So we've got this. And then on the inside, she took another of the wood pieces, And simply, actually, this is a really good, I'm glad she did this, because that's what I was talking about, is that you can use the die and just use part of it. So you can see that she cut off just this top part and die cut it, the whole thing out of the Gold Mary. And You Make Me Smile is also actually not part of that collection, but it is part of the card inside and outside. So there you go, You Make Me Smile. I thought it was nice that she made that into an arch and smile. And again, more of the gold little flowers all around there. So just a really simple card, but done in a very unique manner. And that's nice. Now we're going to go into an slimline card, and we're going to again use that beautiful die. And this card is interesting in that it is done completely, well, other than the cutting die, with those vellum die cuts. So that's neat. So she has used the slimline, and as you know, the slimline comes in a package from us. You get 10 slimline cards and 10 envelopes, so that's handy. And what she did, now I had this laid out. So she had her blank card, and she took the vellum die cuts, and this one she placed at the top. Again, you're going to remove it. And she used this one. Yes, this one is at the bottom. See that? This one she let run off the edge and trimmed it. And then there is another one right here. Now you can do that or not, whatever you like. And she just let it run off like this. So that became her card base. She then put that base onto a craft mat, used the blush ink and the blender brush, and just went around the edges very lightly. Well, the blush is a very soft color anyway, just to give it a bit of color. So we've got that going on. Okay, so that's that first layer. By the way, there are 50 pieces in this package, so you've got a ton of stuff. In fact, you can see them, almost see them. Let's get in super close. And you get 2 of each of those. Just really nice. So you're going to have tons of them, and you'll have some left. Okay, then she did this piece, and she used this set. This is the Seafoam and Pearls cardstock. As a matter of fact, she also used this to do her black layer. So there you go. I wanted to make sure you knew that. So the black layer for that one, and then to do the teal layer right here. And so this is going to work on a 5x6 and excuse me, 5x6.5 inch card, as well as the slimline card. Just gorgeous. And you can see she's just got it at a very slight angle. Now she did put a different card underneath it, and let me see. Can you see those dots? Mm-hmm. Yes, so that is a dot one. So when she cut it out of the teal, she placed it on top of that dotted paper and just trimmed it with scissors. Now you could die cut it if you wanted to, and then glue that piece down and then put that big one on top. So just really striking, isn't it? Now for the inside of her card, she has another of the vellum die cuts. And then Have an Amazing Day is just, this is one of the cutouts, and there's a ton of them in the package, and just glue that at an angle. And I like that. I think that works very, very nicely. You know, so many times we would square that up, but I think that works just nicely. And I like the dark color. It's just very striking. And you've got plenty of room to write your message. So easily done, and yet striking, don't you think? Now, because this company, Uniquely Creative, comes from Australia, they did have some koala bears and kangaroos in their cutouts. Now, you don't have to use them, but Kathy decided to use them. In fact, you can see them on, remember this cutout that I showed you earlier? Well, we were focused on the Hello Beautiful, but there's a kangaroo, there's a koala bear. Well, Kathy decided to use them on this last card, and I thought it was really funny that she did that, but I wanted to share it with you. So this is a gatefold card. So as you know, when you have a gatefold card, you're going to take your 5 by 6.5 inch card, hold it flat, and then you're going to score halfway on each of the flaps, and then you're going to fold them to meet in the middle, not to overlap, okay? So that's going to take care of this piece. Now, let me show you what she has done, because she's done quite a bit, and I've got all the bits and pieces over here. So she took this paper and used the pink part to go on each of the gates. So these are cut to measure right here, and then they are matted on the lighter green out of the seafoam and pearls, and that happens on both of them. So you've got 2 of these sheets, and you're going to do the same thing on each one. We're going to use this part on the inside, so don't worry about that, but we're going to use the light pink right here and matting it on the teal. Then what Kathy did is she used the thin line dazzles. These are the gold ones. You can get them in a package with different colors, or you can get them all by themselves. The item number on the listing is this by itself, and there's a ton of them here. So that's what she's used, and you see that she just placed it along the pink paper and just went around the edge. Now, she went into into the koalas, and you can see there is this little guy, and he's got flowers in front of him. So she cut that out and placed it right there. And we're going to put it over here, but first we're going to put some of the vellum, and this is also a vellum. So that's going to be happening. And I think I have these separated out for you. Yes. So here is the great big one. Now, notice that this is going to go over, so you're going to need to trim it. So you can see, or you could just cut it off, either way. And she has just cut it, just right there, okay? Then she glued her cutout koala right there. Now, if you didn't want to have this as an Australian, that would be very pretty, don't you think? Now, on this side, she took the same vellum cutout, and there are 2 of each one, and put one on the top and one on the bottom. Notice they're upside down. And she decided to put a koala in the middle. Now, if you didn't want the 2 koalas, that looks pretty, don't you think? So you can make them Australian or not. My daughter-in-law is Australian, and she would appreciate those koalas. Now, on the inside, this is where she used the inside of the paper. So she used the outside on the front, and she used the side, the decorative side here, as you can see. So that is also going to get matted on the teal. It's going to have this thin line dazzles around the edges. And then she did cut out that little bird. And I'm sorry I don't know the name of it, but I can ask Tansy and tell you. And she foam taped it there. And there's another one right there. So I'm sure it's an Australian bird. Yeah. Now, the words "best day ever," that is going to be right here. Just cut it out and put the thin line dazzles. "With love" is right there. And that's going to be taken care of. Now, for the center paper, she started with this one. So you're going to get this grouping and just a little bit of that little flower, little leaf right there. She again matted it onto the teal, put the thin line dazzles. So you've got thin line dazzles all the way here, and you can get all of those out of that one package, and you're going to have some left. Now, she decided to do a lot of the cutouts. So she has this fence right here, and she's foam taped it. So the little sprigs of eucalyptus leaves, which is all over Australia, by the way, goes there. And you can see the kangaroo is going to go there with another one. And you can see the flowers were added, the happy birthday, which is right there, is going to be here. And what Kathy said is that she hoped that it looked like the kangaroo was hopping the fence. So that will work, you can decide. Now, if you didn't want the kangaroos, if you didn't want the birds, certainly this is going to give you a good beginning. Maybe you want to add just some words in there. That would be perfectly good. And you certainly have a ton of these vellum pieces that you could add in there and maybe have some words underneath. So you've got lots of options. So we give you an Australian option, and you can use that and adapt it just however you want. So lots of creativity going and lots of options with this wonderful collection. So you have the uniquely creative Peonies and Proteas 6x6 paper pack with those 32 sheets. You've got over 50 of the vellum die cuts, and you've got this stunning bouquet of flowers cutting die. These are in the Money Saver on the right side of your screen. And as I said, you can click on any of the cards down below. You'll have complete instructions, including all of those measurements and all of that creativity that Kathy has shared with you. If you are watching us on YouTube, we hope that you will like us. We hope that if you would like, give us a comment. We appreciate that. And this may be a new company for you. Let me know what you think. I'm really pleased with them, and it's what we really try to do at Paper Wishes is to bring you products that you may not have seen before, and we always give you ideas on how to use them. That's two of the things that sets us apart from other companies online. Do head on over to paperwishes.com. If you like, take advantage of the Money Saver, save a little bit of money. And again, like I said, you can even print off the instructions if you like, and the card samples also. And if you would like, just keep scrolling down and you can leave a comment. We would appreciate hearing what you think. So thank you for joining us. Thank you, Kathy, for sharing your creativity. And I will share the koalas and the kangaroos with my daughter-in-law when she comes next week. And I want to thank you for being part of our Paper Wishes family. We'll see you next time.